Greetings, Earthlings. If we haven't fought enough for the Snyderverse, it appears, my fellow Snyderverse-aholics, it appears that there is a battle right now, a civil war, so to speak, over the Snyderverse between Warner Media and HBO Max. Not surprisingly, considering HBO Max has made a fuck ton of money from Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it looks like it's still the number one streaming film. So, I don't know, why wouldn't you capitalize on that? That's like saying, why wouldn't I do a Joker sequel with Joaquin Phoenix? It's the number one rated R movie of all time. It surpassed Deadpool. Why would you not capitalize on that and pay whoever you have to as much as you have to, because you know you're going to make plenty of money on that and residuals. So, according to We Got This Covered, I'll leave the article below. I love how they put this nice little photo up there as well from Avengers Endgame. But the Justice League saga was fascinating from start to finish. Right from Zack Snyder first calling action to the DCEU all-star movie in April 2016 to this 4-hour epic arriving on HBO Max almost exactly 5 years later. In the meantime, Joss Whedon reshot huge swatches of the project. Of course, this was back in 2017 to push the budget upwards to $300 million, only for it to bomb at the box office and be scorched by critics and fans. Yeah, because back in 2017, we knew it was garbage because, Whedon took over. Which, again, I talked about this on a podcast that I did with Tyrone Magnus. I'll leave that down in the description as well. But, we talked about this where I still think Marvel Studios and Disney sent in Joss Whedon. And I hate to say it because it was such a horrible, tragedy in Zack Snyder's life, the reason why he left. But it's not coincidence that Whedon completely changed that movie. And he's done work with Marvel. Like, he's Marvel's right-hand guy. Come on. There's some cahooting going on in there. I'm suspect of their operation. But anyway, we got Zack Snyder's Justice League a few years later. Thank you, fans, for the hashtag. So let's go back to this. This directly caused the mobilization of Snyder's supporters, setting off a light bulb in the heads of Warner Brothers, who realized that they could sell their new streaming service to the masses and generate a huge amount of both revenue and publicity in the process, led by Zack Snyder's Justice League. Fact. And they did, and it happened, and it was great. Just when you thought a line had finally been drawn under the movie, the Restore the Snyderverse movement came along, with fans now relentlessly calling on the studio to continue this arc that kicked off in the summer of 2013 with Man of Steel. There's been an avalanche of regular conflicting stories making the rounds in recent weeks. What am I, like Daffy Duck? Recent weeks, but a new report offers the entirely plausible tale that there's a civil war brewing behind the scenes at Warner Media. Let's point out how great the writing is at We Got This Covered. I love their articles. As per Small Screen HBO Max Chief Content Officer Casey Blows, would love to continue the Justice League adventures on streaming, but Warner Brothers Film Division, led by CEO and whatever your face is, and DC Films president, want to sweep the whole thing under the rug and move forward, leading to a lot of fighting with the company. There's a ton of money potentially at stake as well, with various legal and contractual hoops to jump through first. But it's been made pretty clear that the online campaigns and social movements aren't going anywhere. Goddamn right. We ain't going nowhere, folks. Restore the Snyderverse. So the good news is it's still being talked about. Bad news is it took almost 3 years to get this thing going. And, the movie was pretty much finished. I mean, aside from a couple scenes that Zack Snyder did, you got to think from 2017 when it was released, technically 2016 when they finished filming, all the way to 2021 is when this thing was released. So it worries me a little bit because they only added a couple scenes at the end in the nightmare scene to this, and that took almost 4 years to do, even with all the efforts from the fans. So by that time, now you're talking Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill. I mean, these folks are going to be tied up with a bunch of projects and much older as well by the time, we can actually get a Justice League 2 and 3 like we deserve. I hope it does happen. I'm going to keep fighting because I think it'll just be a great movie and a great story to tell, and it's not really fair to the actors and the directors, because if you swipe this universe under the rug, now you're swiping, a lot of other movies. Flash is the only one that I think has legs because it can, because when the Flash comes out, it's, I'm assuming, based on the Flashpoint comics, so they could introduce all these different universes, which is great. So they'll probably arc and go to one of those 2 or 3 universes and erase everything that Zack Snyder built. But, again, that means you're not going to see Martian Manhunter, like, ever, unless they end up doing a Justice League reboot in like 5 to 10 years, which I'm sure they will. But, that means you don't get to see that character anymore. You don't get to see Jared Leto's Joker anymore. It's just not, it just doesn't make sense that you wouldn't restore the Snyderverse and continue this arc and stop wasting time with it. Just do it. It's going to make money. If you got fans behind it, that's the whole reason why you do these movies, for the fans. You don't do it for the writers at Warner Brothers. Like, this is going to you guys. You don't do movies for you. You don't have to enjoy it. That's the point, is you need to put that aside and you need to listen to the fans. We're in a very, very exciting and interesting time in social media, because, you see all these movements getting started and you're able to connect with fans in a totally different way. It's like Warner Brothers, HBO Max, DC, and every other studio. You need to listen, because the fans are the ones that are going to be paying a monthly subscription. The fans will easily cancel a membership if they're not happy with something. And, the power's kind of in our hands, not yours. So get your shit together. Restore the Snyderverse.